Well, wheat growers aren't the only ones in Washington this week. Ethanol leaders also are gathering for the American Coalition for Ethanol 10th annual fly-in. The two-day event brings the industry together to participate in over 100 meetings on Capitol Hill. And joining us now is American Coalition for Ethanol Executive Vice President Brian Jennings, joining us on the phone from D.C. as well. So tell us a little bit about the annual fly-in for you guys, Brian.
Sure, Janet. Well, we do this every March as well. It's a popular time for folks to come to Washington to meet with elected leaders and administration officials. We had approximately 70 people, ethanol producers, corn growers, farmers, investors in ethanol companies, retailers selling E15 and higher blends. And we had over 130 Hill meetings scheduled. The little snowstorm they had yesterday curbed that number to approximately 100, but we were still able to convey to members of Congress on both sides of the aisle and both the House and the Senate the importance of maintaining the RFS to rural America, to the economy in rural America, to the well-being of farmers. And we were advocating for EPA and Congress to remove unnecessary restrictions on the use of higher blends of ethanol like E15 and E85.
Now, of course, we can pretty well guess what you guys talked about, as you say, the RFS. Talking about a solution, and I know that the White House has turned it over to Congress as far as them trying to make a decision, and also the corn and petroleum industries. Is there a win-win solution on the table that doesn't involve dismantling the RFS?
We believe there is a win-win on the table that does not involve dismantling the RFS, and that's for either Congress or EPA. It seems maybe more likely to be EPA right now, to extend what's called Reed Vapor Pressure Relief, RVP relief, to E15 and higher blends, so retailers in most of the geography of the U.S. can sell those fuels year-round to their customers. Right now, there's a very outdated restriction on the sale of those fuels, or of E15 year-round in many parts of the country, and that doesn't make any sense. We want that lifted. The administration seems to agree with us on the policy implications of that. They are now looking into whether they think they have the legal authority to do so, and so we're pushing EPA to make that determination.
Brian, you describe it as a win-win solution, but does the petroleum industry see it as a win-win as well?
Well, thanks for asking, because I didn't address that part of the win. The reason the refiners win if E15 can be sold year-round is that every gallon of E15 sold will increase the number of these RINs, renewable identification numbers, that are generated. And the more RINs that are on the market, Janet, the lower their price will be. And that's ultimately what a handful of very vocal refiners are agitating for here in Washington, is for the price of these RIN credits through the RFS to come down. The win-win is selling more ethanol helps out the corn farmers, helps out the ethanol industry, but selling more ethanol also increases the availability of these RINs. It brings down their price. Compliance costs for the refiners goes down.
All right. Well, Brian, thank you very much for bringing us up to date. American Coalition for Ethanol Executive Vice President Brian Jennings on the phone with us from Washington, D.C.